Hey everybody! And a warm welcome to a new story. Today's story is called M Thinks Ed is entitled to first chair a week before concert, revenge included. From the Entitled Parents subreddit. I hope you like it and will enjoy the time. If you like my content and this kind of videos, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. As always, this story is told from the OP's point of view. Enjoy it. Honestly, I feel like a magnet that attracts entitled parents. I had an encounter with one of the most cliché entitled mothers ever last week, and since I know you will love reading this, I will not let you down, hopefully. This is a tragicomedy in 3 acts plus a grande finale with some revenge mixed in. Sit back with some popcorn, this will be a long one. For some backstory, I am in concert band and have been for the past 5 years. These bands are very common and every village has its own where I live. I don't know if non-German speaking people are familiar with this concept. It is very traditional with garbs and traditions and whatnot. I am also playing the flute, first chair, and worked my way up there for the past years. I am the oldest one in the section. With these bands it's really just first come first serve. There are many super talented players who are forced to sit on the last chair because they joined the band only recently. It is not that bad, and if you ask and people are ready to swap, they usually do. So, this year in January, 2 new flutes joined us at the front. We were 3 flutes, all of us have been playing our instrument for a very long time, and we are also much older than the flutists that joined us. We're 17, 18 and 21 while the 2 new flutists are 11 and 12. I knew they would join back in November and I was heavily against it since I knew the level from our concert band was simply too high for them. I told our band director and our chairman on multiple occasions that neither me nor my 2 friends will spend our time tutoring them since we had better things to do, and when we joined concert band, we had to look after ourselves as well. They both told us we didn't have to, but that they could not decline the request and we had to deal with it. The 12-year-old is okay, really. She's doing her best to keep up with us and asks for advice when she needs it. Like, how do you play that? Could you please show me if it's not much to ask? Since she has the 5th chair, she naturally has a different part than me and my 2 friends, and we're happy to help. She's very shy and knows she can't compete with us, but since she's working hard, I have nothing to say against her. The 11-year-old though, oh boy, she's as arrogant and entitled as it can be. Before even joining concert band, I overheard her saying to one of her friends that she will naturally get first chair since she's the youngest and deserves that position. After joining, she ended up crying angrily because our band director would not let her even near the first chair, giving her the 4th instead. She's bad at playing. And when I say bad, I mean bad. She doesn't give a single shit about how she sounds or what she plays. My friends tell me that they don't hear her at all sometimes, and we even notice that she sometimes just puts her flute up to her mouth but doesn't do anything after that. And when you can hear her play, it's like the worst sound you will ever hear. I am very opinionated when it comes to my section since our band director doesn't pay much attention to us. And leaves things like intonation and such to me, and this drives me mad. I think this is enough for the backstory and you get the idea of what the kid is like. And holy hell, if you thought the kid was bad, I met the mother. The entitled mother from hell itself. And now, on to Act 1. Our beloved cast for this play. M, entitled non-musician mother, Ed, entitled dumber of a kid, C, Krista, 3rd chair, S, Sarah, 2nd chair, BD, band director, MC, my crush for the lack of a better name, me, the girl who lived. ACT1. It was Monday before Easter and one of our final rehearsals before our annual Easter concert. We all just arrived and our band director explained the seating to us. Since the stage is smaller than our rehearsal room, it is very cramped and we could never fit 6 people, 1 oboe and 5 flutes, in the first row. So, the 4th and 5th chair are moved to the 2nd row. That isn't a problem normally. In comes the entitled mother who just bought her demon spawn of a child and the quiet girl. They happen to be friends, sadly. I was playing some scales when the mother comes marching up the stage, seeing her daughter being placed in the second row. Why is my daughter sitting in the second row? She looks at me and I stop playing. Me, oh, well, you see, we can't fit 6 people in the first row and flutes with the second part usually sit in the second row when this happens. But all flutes were sitting in the front row last year. Me, we were less flutes last year, we were only 4 and had generally less musicians back then. This isn't fair. Flutes are always sitting in the first row, this is discriminating. Me, flutes are not always sitting in the first row. In fact, flutes are never sitting in the first row apart from our concert band. Normally, the clarinets and the flutes share the first row and only the first chair is guaranteed to sit in the first row. Then switch with my daughter. Me, what? No. Ed, yeah, you can switch with me. No one will notice anyway. Me, are you kidding me? I won't switch seats with you. First of all, I play a different part and second, I need to hear S and C so I can intone us. This is not how this works and now please leave me alone, I want to finish playing my scales. Just switch parts with my daughter, why do you have to make everything so complicated? If she plays the first part, then you can just go sit in the second row and no one will notice. My daughter deserves it more than you anyway, I bet you can't even play right, I mean, look at you, you teenagers can't do anything right. Me, yeah, sure. I have been playing the flute before your daughter was even born. She has absolute no right to claim my seat nor my parts. Also, we are 1 week away from our concert, there is no way she will learn those parts. Since she can't even play her own right, I added in my head. Ed, of course I can learn them. It's not like your parts are harder than mine. My daughter is a genius. She will learn your parts with no problems. Me, I told you no. You have no right to demand something like that. And now please go away. Our band director comes up to me and asks me to play a solo part one have in one of the pieces. C and S decided to leave it to me since our band director already scratched my solo piece out of the program. Also, people tend to forget that any solo part means much more work and responsibility. What? You get to play a solo part, too? This is not fair, you will switch with my daughter right now. BD, what is going on here? My daughter deserves the first chair and she won't give it up. BD, what? No, your daughter deserves no such thing. I have to ask you to not bother any members of our band and leave us to practice. And if you don't stop harassing her, I am going to ask you to leave the rehearsal right now. And so, we start to practice but the M gives me the stink eye. After rehearsal, she grabbed her kid and stormed off but I feared that this wasn't the end of it. And how right I was. ACT2 Wednesday evening and I sit on my chair, preparing my flute when C comes up to me and hands me the piccolo we share. I refuse to play all pieces with piccolo since it damaged my hearing, so C and I share the instrument. I was chatting with S and C when M and Ed come in. I paid no mind to them and continued preparing my flute and chatting with C and S. Then, she comes up to me, demanding I move since her daughter would now play my parts. C and S were as dumbfounded as I was. Me, who the hell do you think you are? I told you to leave me alone, there is no way your daughter will play my parts. It is not fair that you get to have the first chair, play the best parts and that other instrument. Give it to my daughter, now. Me, like hell I would. Our band director told you to stop harassing me. And just for your information, first chair means a lot of responsibility, it is natural that I play the first part in every piece as well as the piccolo since I was the one entrusted with it. Also, it took me months to master the piccolo and switching to the regular flute during a concert, plus first parts are much harder than second parts. No, BD told me that it was fine that Ed can play your parts since she is way better than you. And the people attending will only be pleased since my daughter will show them just how good she is. C. To Ed, what the heck did you tell your parents? Ed, I only told them the truth. Now move and give my daughter the little flute and your flute as well. Since she will be playing the first parts, she needs a better flute, you won't need it for the parts you will be playing. She then proceeded to grab my flute out of my hand, but I just snapped. I am very protective of my flute since I bought it with my own money and I had to save up for it for 2 years. It's a semi-professional flute and I paid €2,500 for it. Now, I am a very calm person normally, but I just blew up. Me, you listen here, you keep your dirty mitts to yourself if you want to keep them, and don't even think about touching my flute or else you will instantly regret it. Get lost. At this point, our band director approached us and asked what the ruckus was about. I told him everything and he wasn't happy to hear that. He told Em that she is no longer welcome to stay during rehearsal and literally threw her out. But you think this was the end of it? Oh no. ACT 3. Friday night. Last rehearsal before the concert on Sunday. I came in a bit later than usual since I decided to go with my stepfather. He's also in concert band, but I usually go with one of my friends. But I was lazy that afternoon and so I got a car ride. That proved to be a big mistake. When I came on stage, I immediately saw Ed sitting on my chair and Em smiling smugly. I went up to Ed and told her to get up and move. She just looked at me with a smug smile, holy hell, the genetics are showing, and told me that she would now have the first chair. Ed, I told BD that you agreed to switch with me and he said it was okay. Me, are you stupid or something? I never agreed, why would I do something like that? And BD would never be okay with something like that either. There are just 2 more days until our concert and you can't even play your own parts right. Now move before I make you. The entitled mother started screaming like a banshee. If you touch my child I will have you arrested for abuse. Me, woman, I will tell you this one last time, I will not under any circumstances. Switch with your stepdaughter and now stop harassing me or else you will get to know me a little better. Ed, no one likes you here anyway, everyone will be okay if you leave, no one needs you. Yes, I already told everyone in the village that you are just a little bitch and are good for nothing. You can't play the flute and you are stupid. No, go and leave, no one needs you here. Me, oh, you know what? I don't care, and there is no way people would believe some crap like that. Even if some here in the village are as dense as they could be, no one would believe such an obvious lie. And I will say it again, move you brat and get to your seat and no one gets hurt. Are you threatening to hurt my child? Me, leave me the F alone. Then my savior came to my rescue. My crush, MC, just a little reminder, I know this is long, stepped in. Since he had never heard me yell before and asked what's wrong. M saw her chance. She is such a horrible girl, she agreed to let Ed have the first chair and now she demands it back. And she stole my daughter's flute and hit her. You are a firefighter, you can restrain her and I will call the police. MC just looks at me, I was in obvious shock. I was just about to explain it all to him when he burst out laughing. MC, that's fantastic, oh my god, you sure deserve an Oscar. Listen up, lady, we all heard you harassing Gegan_Wind over the whole week and there is no way she would ever do what you accuse her of. Do you see all those musicians? We all heard every word. This is her flute, she's had it for nearly a year now and even S and C say that she deserves the first chair. Because she plays better than all of us here combined. We are a lazy bunch of idiots, but she's super talented and doesn't deserve your crap. And she didn't even touch your child. All she said was that she'll make her move. And this is her right since your daughter is very obviously sitting on her chair, demanding her parts and her flute as well. Now please, get lost. And if I hear that you harass her again, I'll have you restrained while waiting for the police. M then proceeded to convince others about what I supposedly did, but of course, no one believed her. I mean, they heard and saw everything. How dumb can you be to do that in front of all of the members of our concert band? I thanked MC and the rehearsal began. But I was already coming up with a plan. I let S, MC and C know, and they were all up for it. Since Ed and M deserved some kind of punishment, we patiently waited for Sunday. Le Grande finale. The concert went by, we received lots of applause and stepped off stage. C, S and I cleaned our flutes. We all just got new ones recently and are very careful with them, so cleaning always takes a while, and we could overhear Ed whining about having to sit in the second row, playing second parts throughout the whole concert, yada yada yada. Now, Ed was sitting directly behind me. I should have heard every single note she played, but I didn't hear her at all. She must have been so upset that she decided it wasn't worth playing at all. And this just played right into my hands. We girls then headed out, meeting with our parents, and I gave my mother my stuff since I would celebrate a bit with my friends and my flute would just get in the way. Then, our band director came up to me and shook my hand, congratulating me on my first concert as a first chair player. Is it called like that? I don't know. He asked me how the leading role for me was, and I answered, it was great. But, you know, I didn't hear Ed at all. I don't think she played a single note today. And may I add that she doesn't give a shit about playing in concert band in general? She never tunes her flute right when I tell her to, and the whole behavior she and her mother put up this week was really annoying. At first, my band director became very pale before his face reddened very dangerously. He just told me to leave that to him. What my plan was, you might ask? Since Ed wanted the first chair so bad that nothing else was good enough, I wanted to get rid of her. She was going on my nerves even before she joined concert band, and I am not having it anymore. S, C and MC have my back, and we all knew that BD would not take shit like that either. Later in the evening, MC told me that M was talking to the mayor when he approached her. He very clearly said that Ed would be banned from concert band for the next months to think about her unacceptable behavior, and that he didn't want Ed nor M anywhere near me. And if he heard one bad thing, he would take legal actions. My BF threatened to call the police on him for harassing me in front of the mayor. I finally got enough karma to post this story here, and I really hope you can enjoy it as much as I did writing it. What do you think about this story? Tell me your thought in the comments. If you liked the story and the content, please leave a like, subscribe and share this video. Also have a look into my playlist for more entertaining stories.